I think it is time, 11:55, for our next speaker. So let me bring him on right now. And as I do that, Brett Moyer, President, CEO, Chairman of Summit Wireless. Brett, good to see you. Can you reshare your screen again?
All right. Well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us this morning. Talk about wireless and our wireless standard WiSA. And we're listed as WSIA or WiSA on NASDAQ. The Advisement Summit is really an investment in two entities. We're a group of Summit engineers that develop wireless technology, develop algorithms and IP for licensing. And then we have this standard WiSA, and that's a separately owned entity, wholly owned. The role of WiSA. WiSA is to make sure, just like with your HDMI cable, or your Bluetooth or Wi-Fi, that a product sending a wireless signal knows how to receive it and communicate back to the sender of it. So in our case, we're specialized on wireless audio for you want the TV be able to communicate directly to speakers. You want Xboxes or Cs ultimately to be able to connect to speakers, communicate back to those devices to say all's good, right? So WiSA is a standard that we've maintained, and that's the primary role for it. Now, we just finished reporting Q2, big quarter for us. First of all, we did report up significant revenue. They're engaged with WiSA. We reported our fifth. So when you look at using our technology, we previously announced Bang & Olufsen. We've announced LG and Skyworth, which is a top Chinese company. And this recently, a couple of weeks ago, we announced Toshiba will be the fifth brand. And we do have guidance out there that we'll announce another brand this year. Along with that announcement, we announced a new app function. It sends a little transmitter that plugs into the TV, and you can put that app on the TV. Everything from with your remote versus having to use a separate remote or a separate app on your phone. So we'll talk about that a little more. Now, WiSA is getting big attention. Last year, we had about 365,000 visitors to the WiSA store. We increased that guidance to 1 million in the first quarter. And then last month, we put out new guidance of having approximately 2 million people coming to the WiSA.org website, and you'll see how we're driving that. Finally, we have opened the first WiSA store in Amazon, and all the WiSA services to platform, so consumers have an easy time shopping Amazon. Now, not all products are at Amazon. At Amazon, that's WiSA certified. We'll make sure it shows up. All right, when you look at big growth drivers, as you can see, the WiSA traffic, we expect to reach approximately 2 million this year, up from 365,000 last year. And revenue growth is 180% year over year. To do between 6 and 7 this year. This is 2.4 last year. So that'll be our third year of growth, and that's all coming from consumer demand. Now, the WiSA members, as you can see, that are shipping Summit's technology, including the 5 TVs that we've talked about, more than 25 speaker brands. Either are shipping now or will be shipping this year. So this is really gaining a lot of at the speaker level. What do the different TVs do? So if you're a WiSA ready TV and you've been certified, like LG's, QNEDs, OLEDs, nanocells, and laser TVs, or Hisense TVs, that means the TV has given you the option to actually set up the entire WiSA system and control it off of the user interface. So you plug in WiSA, and the TV will recognize it, and that transmitter will set up the system automatically. You can do whatever the TV lets you do on their interface, treble and bass, etc. Now, the Toshiba launch is the first one to launch under this WiSA program. And what that means is SoundSend is a small little puck. It will be plugged into the HDMI and automatically set up speakers as an app that goes on the phone. Part of that app now can go onto any Android TV. So Sony ships Android TVs, Toshiba, Hisense, Sharp, and Insignia. So this is an example of how it looks when you're trying to tell the system, oh, well, I'm a listener and I'm going to be X amount of feet away from that sweet spot. All right, the main market opportunity, if you think about the audio world out there, you have the TV world, because they've gotten so thin, it's hard to put a good speaker into a TV. Significant number of people add a soundbar. That's certainly her voice. If you add a sub, you get some of the deeper sounds around action movies. And if you're using Wi-Fi technologies, you can see sound bars transmitting to rear speakers. Now, when you go to the movie theater, you don't go to hear a little speaker in the front of the room and maybe something behind you, right? You're going because you want to hear stuff in front of you, on the left of you, the back of you, above you, around you, on the sides, home theater. So the WiSA standard will allow you to transmit up to 8 channels of audio. So you can have up-firing Dolby speakers, you can have rears and fronts. When you think about it as a listener, it takes that sound bar, it stretches it from 3 feet, give or take, and lets you create that across the wall and have 12 feet of audio. So action on the left is on the left, and action on the right is on the right, and action behind you is in the right place. And then the soundbar becomes a center speaker, so you got better dialogue intonation. Now, the beauty about WiSA is it lets you set up a home theater system as simply as a soundbar. You plug one HDMI cable into a WiSA transmitter. In our case, we ship a product called SoundSend, but there's others out there. And then that product will find all the speakers. So you plug one HDMI cable in, you plug the speakers into the wall outlet, and that's it. No installer, no drilling holes, full surround sound with Dolby Atmos if you have the right speakers, or it simulated Dolby Atmos, and it's cheaper. So you can look at products from Platin Audio. You can look at products from Enclave Audio. Those are all below the price of what you see from Sonos, Sony, Bose, where just their soundbar and subwoofer is $1,300. You can find with
Hey, Brett,
entire
I
home
want to jump in here. See if you can turn on turn off your camera.
For growth drivers,
let's see what that does.
SoundSend's a big growth driver. We're shipping that under the WiSA name, and the value there is consumer and the speaker maker or speaker brands knows that there's an easy way to plug a transmitter and connect to any WiSA speakers. So
Brett, can you hear me?
We've been shipping it for about 7. Already picked up 3 awards early year, right when we started shipping it after CES. So we think this is a big driver for facilitating adoption. It's lost. It'll plug into any TV and communicate to any certified speakers on the WiSA logo. Second growth driver is going to be the WiSA Wave. Now, there's many components to that, pivoting the WiSAassociation.org from a technical site to a consumer-driven site. And you can see in the last year, we significantly increased the number of consumers coming through. That something just went through, pulled a lower price sound. And this year, we expect to get to 2 million. Now, this helps brands because when we're advertising WiSA, it's there to support all the brands and create the category for the retailer, create the category in the consumer's mind. So when people come to the WiSA sites, we're able to tag them. And so we know who's come back twice. We know who's spent more than a minute on the site. This lets marketing companies, whether it's or retailers or brands to go back and advertise directly to those people, right? So we think the WiSA way we have leverage. This is an example of campaigns. If you see this out there in Google or Facebook, this soundbar explodes apart, jets fly around the room, and you'll see the benefits of the setup. Now, there's more above these speakers, but you'll come and you'll see at least 3 brands worth of WiSA certified speakers, so that the consumer can select style, price point, and sound quality. WiSA store, we're going to quickly just give you an update here. So if you go out to amazon.com/WiSA, and really well, it's only been up for about, you'll see that to other retailers, I think we'll have 5 stores up before the Christmas season total. And as quick as each of the consumer get it, here's.
All right, I'm going to jump in here for a second. I'm sorry to cut Brett off, but it's getting the connection's getting worse and worse. Brett.
Yes.
Hey, you sound clear.
Yeah.
Crystal. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding.
Are we in Oz?
We are in Oz. Brett, awesome.
Good Lord.
Let's finish this up. And we hear you. We still see your slides, and that's the most important part.
But you guys are driving the slides, okay? That's what I understand.
We got you. Yep, we got it.
Okay, so we're on slide 14.
Boom, we're there.
Did you hear any of that? Or am I?
Best start from the beginning of slide 14.
Okay, so slide 14 is a good example of how the WiSA waves driving awareness with the consumers. We'll run a little video ad. This little sound bar will blow apart, jets will fly around, the speakers expand around the room. If you click on that ad, you'll come to landing pages, and there'll be different copy above these products, but you always come to a landing page with 3 or 4 products on it, showing the consumer that, hey, this is a category. You got different price points, you got different styles, you got different sound audio quality, presumably around the price point. We could argue that, but as you can see here, these are the same 3. Platin Audio provides a $7.99 to $9.99 entry points. Enclave is right in the mainstream of $1,000 to $1,500, and then you got all the audiophile brands sitting up above. What we're pretty excited about here is how the WiSA store at Amazon is initially performing during the first 4 weeks. And you will see, as a consumer, other retailers opening WiSA stores. And the point of a store at a retailer, Amazon's the biggest. So how do you find WiSA products if you heard about WiSA and you want the simplicity and the benefits of WiSA? Well, if you know there's a store, you can click on speakers. You'll see all the speakers that retailer sells. You can click on TVs. That'll show you all the TVs that are WiSA ready or WiSA certified. And then you got bundles with TVs and speakers that are included, right? Or transmitters. So this is a really educational site on Amazon. We'll bring it out across some other stores. So that's what you'll see this fall in the Christmas season. Lots of WiSA advertising around products, really cool products that are simple to set up. Now, longer term, we have talked about, and you'll start hearing more news about taking the IP in our custom chips and making it into software that we can put onto phones or all smart TVs or headphones or tablets or gaming PC. More about that in the future. Financially, if you jump to slide 18, we had a great quarter. We showed 354% year-over-year growth. We've guided to 6.5 to 7 million for this year. Full year, our margin is getting right up to that target, the initial target we set a year and a half ago of 30 points. So lots of good progress. If you go to the next slide, main point here is we did do a raise in June. We expect to end the year roughly with $14 million, which means we're well capitalized for 2022 and beyond. So at this point, the balance sheet's clean. It's got cash. There's no preferences on stocks. It's just drive the business going forward. And finally, before we open it up, lots of consumer growth and awareness, lots of revenue growth. We think we really are driving a new standard for the industry. And it's a pretty big market when you look at how far the Gen 2 can reach to all speakers and all sound smart TVs and phones. And with that, we'll get to questions.
We made it through, Brett.
Yes.
I'm proud of us. I'm proud of us for getting to the end. Guys, we are actually out of time for questions. But Brett Moyer, if you have questions, you can find him. He's the CEO, president, and chairman of Summit Wireless Technologies. The ticker, the title up on the screen, WISA. Brett, there's the website right there. I'm proud of us. Thanks a lot for sticking with us and bearing through and getting through the end here. We appreciate it.